Hi, my name is Melissa Ng, and I am with Group 7, and this is our advocacy proposal. So the issue is Senate Bill 4, otherwise known as the Sanctuary City Ban. The Sanctuary City Ban relates to the enforcement by campus police departments and certain local governmental entities of state and federal laws governing immigration and to relating duties and liability of certain persons in the criminal justice system, providing a civil penalty, creating a criminal offense. So this kind of means that it prohibits cities and counties from adopting policies that limit immigration enforcement, allows police officers to question the immigration status of anyone they detain or arrest, and threaten officials who violate the law with fines, jail time, and removal from office. It also directs local officials to cooperate with so-called immigration detainer requests, which allow foreign-born detainees to be transferred to federal custody after they are released from state or local custody. The Texas law also slaps governments with criminal and civil penalties if they do not comply with immigration law and detention requests. Local governments can be fined up to $25,000 for every day they violate the law. So, what is a sanctuary city? A city that limits its cooperation with federal immigration enforcement agencies in order to protect low-priority immigrants from deportation. The Texas Tribune also defines it as municipalities that have established policies prohibiting police officers from enforcing immigration laws or cooperating with federal immigration officials. While there is no concrete definition of what a sanctuary city is, basically the underlying theme is to not blindly cooperate with federal immigration officials and to protect undocumented residents from deportation. Sanctuary cities' goal is to make everyone safer. So the idea is that the police can focus on going after more serious criminals rather than arresting or detaining immigrants just for being undocumented. Cities, communities, and law enforcement want undocumented immigrants to trust the police. In order for the police to be most effective at their jobs, they need to be able to work with immigrants to report crimes, to give tips, to testify as witnesses. In order for immigrants to trust the police, they need to know that any interaction with law enforcement is not going to lead to their deportation. So where are these sanctuary cities? This map is just a very, very broad map. There are a lot more in Texas, and I'm pretty sure there are a lot more in the United States, but I feel like this is a good representative of the point being that a lot of them are in large cities, and that's being threatened right now. So as you can see, there are quite a few on the west and east coast, and also in Texas. So the scope of this issue, so there are 11.2 million undocumented immigrants in the U.S. today. These immigrants mainly come from Mexico, Central America, and Asia. Houston has 575,000 undocumented immigrants. To put that kind of in perspective, Texas is number 2 in undocumented residents. We are right behind California, which is number 1, and they have double of what we have. In 2014, 66% of undocumented residents in the U.S. have been here for 10 years or more. And these are people who have created lives and have started families, and that people who are already a firm foundation in our communities today. So the macro factors supporting or creating problems with sanctuary cities and immigration are public policy, economic conditions, racism, and the citizenship process. So public policy mainly doesn't favor undocumented residents because they aren't viewed as tax-paying citizens. Number 1, this is untrue and has proven to be so. They stimulate the economy. But also, everything in public policy. So with the devastation of Hurricane Harvey and the reaction that Texas as a state had from that to the Affordable Care Act and healthcare, all impact and affect undocumented residents. Also economic conditions, not only within the U.S., but also in other countries. Basically, if economic conditions are poor, people are more likely to migrate to where economic conditions are good, where there's more job availability. And in the U.S., we have that. We also have better working and better living conditions. Another factor is racism. So city life offers a more tolerant view of immigrants and a general increase in job availability than rural communities. So it's a lot easier to hop on the metro in Houston and get to your job in 20 or 30 minutes than it is when you're living out in West Texas and you need a car to go everywhere. Also, last but not least, the citizenship process. Gaining citizenship in the U.S. is a long, tedious, and expensive process, which makes it unrealistic and almost impossible for many. So this is macro solution number 1. Suggested a pilot program within Harris County focused on the needs of undocumented families. The program will put together social work professionals to facilitate communication channels between courts, law enforcement, religious and secular charities and nonprofits, child welfare services, schools, and families. So basically it's going to give social workers and case managers more accessibility and more resources to help the client. Also, the pilot program will provide counseling for children affected by undocumented immigration. So if a family member is detained, that will be provided for them. Also, the last 2 are about keeping the families together. To place children of undocumented immigrants in homes of relatives if the parents are detained, and detaining undocumented families in homes or community centers instead of sending them to federal prisons. And this is macro solution number 2. It is to create a community center with case managers and social workers, and the center will provide beneficial resources such as help with work visa acquirement and citizenship. Like I said, there are so many problems with applying to become a citizen, and this resource would greatly help that. Also, legal help, providing free and, if needing, more intensive legal help, more affordable help for undocumented immigrants or undocumented residents who might not have access to that. Also, education and training. So in order to help stabilize the job community and grow the economy, referring people to places where they can train for free, and that will be covered under that job. Also, family needs, such as childcare and counseling, maybe tutoring. So that's macro solution number 2. And these are our references. And this is our group. So thank you so much and have a wonderful week.